Keep the peace up here.
Every $10 that is mine.
Wow. Says someone who actually believes in statistics, right? You believe in the functional illiteracy of every other African country. Every other African public believes in the fact that they only take $2. But at the end of the day, when you look at the African people themselves, they're not benefiting from not even a cent from that. That wouldn't make logical sense. Then Africa wouldn't have to be. We wouldn't need to have a Pan-Africanist unity situation here if really Botswana had the blueprint to everything else.
See, all this is arguing for Pan-Africanism, because what Pan-Africanism is saying is all these resources need to benefit African nations. You see what I'm saying? And they're not. The West are looting every part of it. This is why Pan-Africans are saying, let's all come together as a continent, the same way United States came together as all these colonies, all these 52 states we're seeing here. These are small countries that came together and formed the federal government.
So you want the United States of Africa. That's what you're trying to say. You want
exactly.
Africa.
So once we build that, that means
you want a democracy in Africa. That's what you want.
let me make my point. Let me make my point so you understand what I'm saying. All right, so what I'm saying is that what Pan-Africanism is saying is, yes, all those like the diamonds coming out of Botswana, those should be benefiting African countries, not being sent to Israel and Europe. You see what I'm saying? To build Israel and Europe, which is what's happening at this point. The oil in Nigeria should be benefiting African countries. The countries in Africa that don't have oil, Nigeria should be hooking that up. Libya should be hooking that up. The countries that need gold, South Africa should be hooking that up. Zimbabwe should be hooking that up. We need to come together as a whole continent to work together to build ourselves. Because if
we've got two questions.
Yeah.
So first question, do you include the North Africans in this, like the Arabs, the quote-unquote Egyptians? Do you include them in the United States of Africa?
If they choose to include themselves as Africans and share the same mission and goals as Africans, then yes, we would include them. But those that don't, then fuck them. I don't want to use the F word, but F them. They can go wherever they want to go. But if those that do agree, like the Libyans did, and whatnot, yes, then we will include them because they do occupy the land. We can't drive all of them out. That'll be a whole other war that we can't afford right now. You see what I'm saying?
All right, so
those that are willing to work with us, we'll work with them. Those that don't, F them. Let them go be whatever they go, and we'll exclude them completely from whatever we're trying to do.
All right, so my second question is, so how do you reconcile, like, if you look at Nigeria, they even got, like, Biafra that's not even trying to be Nigerian. So with all different types of government systems, you have socialists, you have capitalists, you have democratic socialists. Everybody wants to have a different way of prosperity. Like you just looked at Botswana, who wants to ally with the West. How do you unite 54 countries under one political system, under one political ideology, under one way of life? How do you do that, sir?
That's what we're working to figure out. But that is the goal, definitely. You just said it properly. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't have the solution right now. We can all share solutions on how to do that. But to say that it's impossible, that's what you're failing without even trying to. Like, what the hell?
They said I don't know any Botswanian tribes. I know a couple of them. I know, like, the Baye and the Kalunga.
So earlier when... Nkayezi was talking.
Don't like that. Yeah, so I be knowing what I'm talking about, bro.
As long as we're divided as countries like the way we are right now, they're going to keep looting us and they're going to keep us fighting each other over petty nonsense. Just so that as long as we're fighting each other, as long as Somalia is fighting Kenya and Sudan is fighting Ethiopia, they get to loot without them being questions because there's not a system there to keep checks and balances that is well established. You see what I'm saying? So all this division as a continent is not benefiting us. It's benefiting those that are working behind the scenes to keep us divided this way. And they're convincing those of you that, you can't work coming together because there's too many tribes and there are too many ideologies. How did they do it in Europe? How did they do it in America?
Samura, how are you?
I feel like how are you
going to unite with the Luo? Can you give me like a pathway of how the Kikuyus are going to unite with the Luos? Let us start in Kenya.
Well, we get rid of those that
how did the Austrians? How did the Austrians?
When you say get rid of them, what do you mean? Like you're gonna execute the people that don't agree with you?
The people that are trying to hold power to bring divisions, we don't allow them to hold power. The only people we give power to run anything is those that are bringing unity and the message of unity. If they're bringing tribalism and whatnot, we're like, all right, man, go sit your ass in a village somewhere. We don't want you leading us.
Can I add something to this point, please? Where do you find these people?
Hello?
Can I add Raila Odinga? Is it?
You can ask your question. Raila Odinga is one of them. Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, his dad, was one of them. Jaramogi was given the presidency of Kenya by the British Empire when we won independence. He did the most selfless thing in the world any leader could ever do. He gave it up. And he said, no, my friend Kenya. Oh, my friend Kenya. President, and I get to be vice president. There is an act right there of selflessness to show that we can do it. He did it. So, why did Odinga came back to try to end this tribal nonsense? He endorsed the Kikuyu, being a Luo. He said Kibaki Tosha. I remember that situation back in 2002. And all Kikuyus came together for a little bit. But then some of them, they went back to the division and whatnot. But we're trying, and it's getting there. Especially the Gen Z now, tribalism is becoming a non-issue now. People are coming together now to say, hey man, you're Kikuyu cool, you're Kalenjin cool, but let's come together to build Kenya together. We're both Kenyans. That's the message that's now starting to go on.
Is it a .com or something, or? What was that family tree? That's my family tree. Now, are you saying that these aren't like the other DNA testing things? I have to.
If the African Union actually functioned the way it was supposed to stop conflicts and to get one currency in Africa and to fill business gaps, then that would be perfect. That would be the perfect view of Pan-Africanism. But
these are the things that we're trying to
United
achieve
States
with
of
African
Africa,
Union.
meaning one country.
It doesn't mean
that would never work.
It would never work. And let me
can work. I can explain.
Derek,
that would never work.
Is Austria in the same position as Kenya is in?
How do you mean?
In ethnically, culturally, and socially, are they in the same position that Kenya is in?
I still don't follow your question.
So, let me say it again. Ethnically, do you know that there are ethnic communities in Kenya? You know this, right?
There are, yes.
Do you know roughly how many there are, or can you take a wild guess?
It's about 42 of them.
Okay, let's give him 42. Okay, now, ethnically, culturally, and socially, is Austria in the same position as Kenya is in?
Well, because there are different tribes in Kenya, and you think that there are no tribes in Austria.
Okay, so what makes you think that a country that is homogeneous, you can go borrow what they are doing and apply to a country like Kenya, which has its own problems? What makes you think that what is happening in Austria is going to be, you can just copy and paste and put it in Kenya and it's also going to magically work?
This is what I was arguing earlier. I was saying that what you are saying is fundamentally wrong because I compared Austria to Italy and Germany, the way you'd compare the tribes in Kenya. Austria, if you want to claim they are homogeneous, I know they are not. They came against all these other countries. They tried to conquer them in the past. They actually attacked Milan and then Rome and then all of these other countries. But they've somehow managed to work under the EU, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And so thinking that because there are different factions, we cannot create a bigger body.
So
to counter his argument, dude, they already have, dude. Why do we have the Kenyan government that's ruling 42 tribes in one country? And we recognize it and it works. So what do you mean it could never work because of different ethnicities and whatnot? It's already working. We already have governments and countries. Ghana has different tribes in it, but they have one government. Kenya has 42 tribes in it, but they're represented by one government.
Okay.
South Africa has 5 tribes in it.
Samora and Derek, you are telling me right now that Kenya and Ghana are huge successes. Like wherever you go into the world, they look at your country and everybody wants to emulate you.
Yeah, but those are not, their failures are not due to tribes and whatnot. It's economic. And then now,
exactly.
That's it.
It's economic. And
it's not tribal. It's not because, it's not working because Kikuyus and Luos are not living together. No, it's just because there's corruption and the economy is they are not running the country the way it's supposed to be run. But we have a government that functions, that all 42 tribes recognize that this is the government of Kenya that represents us outside of the world, outside of the country.
Exactly.
What do you mean it doesn't work? It's already there.
Derek and Samora, let me ask you a question. So when an ethnic group like the Kikuyu, or I don't know, Ghana, I don't know you guys very well, but let me use the Kenyans. When the Kikuyu come into office, are they looking out for the Jaluos? Are they looking out for the Kambas? Are they looking out for the Taitas? Or
that's
they predominantly look
that's like asking when the Democrats come into power, are they looking out for the Republicans and the independents? Or are they just looking out for Democrats? It's just government.
Now you make my point. Thank you.
They're looking out for everybody, the American system and everybody. And of course, they're going to throw some tangibles towards their Democratic group. But they can't go out there and say we're only going to serve Democrats since
you
we
make my point for power.
That's a lie. I didn't make your point. I just counted your point. What point are you making?
Come down. Let me answer this. Yeah. So what he's saying is,
stop saying I'm making your point when I'm countering your point, dude. That's a lie.
Actually, inadvertently make my point.
These comments is funny as hell, bro. Y'all think y'all really doing something down here in the comments?
Listen to what I was trying to say. So he's trying to argue based on the fact that a sort of people try to get ahead based on tribal lines, but that's not what happens, especially in Ghana. So if you're making the argument, for example, that Democrats and Republicans don't get along, let's not lose focus that Democrats as a party consist of many other people. But what he's trying to bring across is that, for example, a tribe in Ghana, let's say the LS will come into power and then they will definitely try to sabotage the accounts. That has not happened, okay? Ghana now, the president in Ghana now is from the northern region in Ghana. If you go by tribal histories, they are sort of like one of the looked down ethnicities or ethnicities basically in Ghana. But he's managed to become the president, and the leader of the other minority group is also from the northern part of Ghana. So people from actually minority tribes have managed to come to like the top of the political party scene in Ghana. So we don't have a tribal problem per se in Ghana. So this kind of, because you're not homogeneous, it wouldn't work, doesn't make sense. The problem we have relates more to economics, and yes, we've sort of, it's been put upon us how the economy works and how we are put together, but you are able to recognize that because we are put together in this way, it doesn't make sense, but you fail to see how the picture with the economy and how these people manage our resources and things have brought us to this point. So,
to the girls.
And by the way, Mali, I'm not yelling at you, brother. I'm just passionate whenever I speak, so it sounds like I might be yelling, but I'm not yelling.
No, I'm not taking it even in that way. What I'm saying is, this gentleman is saying that in Ghana it's not the case. I'll tell you, in Uganda, you guys, we have that problem. In Uganda, that is the problem. Everything is based on tribal lines. So you guys want a Pan-Africanism in a country like Uganda. Rwanda has the same problem. They have a lot of tribal issues down there as well. Burundi has the same problem. South Sudan has the same problem. Sudan has the same problem. Don't even mention the Arab countries, Morocco and all that. Like, they have a very similar problem. So you guys are trying to, now, give it an example, Kenya and Uganda. I can tell you categorically right now, the Ugandans are not going to allow you to come there, because in our government right now, it is one tribe that is benefiting from everything. You see, you guys are there in Ghana, you are saying it is not happening. That is good for you. So you tell me how you are going to come and you're going to try to unite with a country like Uganda, where the people who are controlling it don't want you to come and sabotage the food that they are eating.
So you get rid of the people that are controlling it then. You see what I'm saying? That's what a revolution is for.
So
the government is a dictatorial government and it doesn't want to allow you guys to progress. You overthrow them and get them the hell up out of there. So you're basically saying Ugandans are weak, and then you see what Kenya did. Kenya went and stormed their own parliament. They told them to not passing this law.
You see,
so what are you saying?
Jacket on me. You wear that jacket. You said that. I didn't say that.
Samora,
I'm confused because you guys keep just saying, all right, just overthrow. Like, could I hear a concrete plan? I'm not hearing no concrete plan.
There's no plan. They're just talking.
The plan is democracy. The plan is
democracy.
Leaders that
overthrow. Now you say democracy.
Uganda's been led by the same guy for 30 years, bro.
So
while Kenya's gone through, I don't know how many presidents.
No, the hell you're not. You ain't saying it no more.
Overthrow him when you're talking about democracy.
Yeah, he's not making any sense anymore.
Not making sense. And even when you overthrow, when a coup happens,
let me make it sense for you. Let me make sense for you. Let me explain it well. Okay, everybody, let me explain what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
When you're saying that, the powers that are in control are not allowing you to unite or allowing other peoples to unite Uganda with other countries. What do you mean by allowing? These are leaders you put in power. You elected them.
Nobody elected.
So what do you do when they're not allowing you to unite with the other African people? You get rid of them through elections, and if they don't use elections, then at some point you have no choice. In certain situations, you have no choice but to overthrow. So the same thing that happened in Burkina Faso. They failed to get rid of that president. What did the military did? They had to get rid of him.
Ain't nothing real about an election, bro. That's what you think. You think like the democratic American system is the system to go with. No, ain't nothing, bro. The reason why they create elections is so they could pick who they want. It's called an electoral college.
I know that. So let's come up with our own form of democracy.
You don't know that
because you African Union. So now you don't have to go through the Western side. Yes,
slowly by slowly you come to my side. You come to my side. You're now seeing you're coming to my side slowly by slowly. That's the point that I'm making.
Okay,
these systems that you have been gifted are not working, and the Africans need to come up with their own.
Oh yeah, that I agree with you. That point,
Pan-Africanism is just a system
I know you, bro. You trying to
against African. That goes against the African wisdom. There's nothing in Africa that
Pan-Africanism is just bringing Africans together for the benefit of Africans. So what are you saying?
You see, Samora. Okay, now you unite tomorrow. Unite with Burundi. Tomorrow you unite with Burundi. Then what?
Then we unite with Rwanda next, then Congo next, then the same way we did with independence. How did we win independence from all these countries? One country wins independence from the British or whoever colonized them, then they help the next country win theirs. Then they win. Now it's two countries that have won. These two countries help the next country. Now it's three. That's how we won Africa, bro. How are you forgetting?
How long that's going to take?
Let me tell you,
It don't matter about the time and how long it takes. It depends with how resilient
honestly, we are. I don't want to
we can't just keep talking about this. We need some results.
You go home to your home country, you get strong, and then we come to the middle. We come to the middle when everybody has gotten strong. I don't want to unite with weaklings. Okay? Right now, Africa is a bunch of weak countries that are still under colonial control. If you do anything, the Somalis are going to run there and tell the Arabs. How you going to this Burkina Faso was fighting those guys, those combatants in the Sahel. Ghana ran and started telling the West. This guy that is here talking. They went and started reporting Burkina Faso there to the West.
Yeah, but then what helped
they are fighting rebels.
There are other two African countries, Mali and I don't know which other country. They came together, three of them, and they say if you attack Burkina Faso right now, you're attacking Mali and you're attacking us. This is what we're supposed to do.
No, you see, this is the problem with you guys. You don't even know, and that is the point that the host made earlier, that you only look at the successes of the Africans in the past. You don't go back to look at the problems that Africa has suffered. That is the problem with you African people. Africa, let me tell you.
African too? What you mean?
Let me tell you.
Exactly. You're talking like you're not African. What do you mean you African? No, what are you?
African too. I'm African too. But I'm saying it.
So say us Africans. Don't say you as if you're separate.
I'm saying you. I'm saying you. Hold on, Cloud Camp. The problem, I'm saying you.
You're telling me to hold on, but you've been talking for 10 minutes.
Bro. I'm saying you because I've evolved past that. Listen, Africa, there's only two continents in the world whereby the military governments are controlled by that have governments that are controlled by the military. It is Africa 1 and it is Asia 2. So in Asia, you have Myanmar, you have Thailand, and a few others. And then you have Africa, which has, you know them. Yeah, I don't want to start telling you the countries in Africa that are controlled by the military. With every metric that you can follow, yeah, it will let you know that if a leader comes into power through the barrel of the gun, they never leave power. They never leave power. And
you mean like Ibrahim Traoré?
You have to get them out by force. That is right now, you know, we in
that's
Uganda,
my next question for you, Mali. That was my next question for you.
We're the exact same place that you guys were in.
I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm glad you said that because that's my next question.
In Uganda, when our president took over, the current guy has been there 40 years. When he took over, everybody was clapping for him like the way you're clapping for Ibrahim Traoré. But eventually, when the time comes down the line, you guys are going to cry like we have been crying. So for us, we have 40 years of experience with it. We have 40 years of experience with it. So, eventually,
I don't know, man.
So hold on, let's have a conversation.
He's not lying there. Museveni has done them dirty out there in Uganda at the end of the day. Museveni and Uganda are all part of one WhatsApp group. A destructive WhatsApp group, self-preserving. They don't take any votes seriously. It's all about them. They elect themselves in there and participate in the destruction of the people themselves. Ugandans in general don't have a right to anything.
Is Ibrahim Traoré gonna give up the?
And if you ask a Ugandan, they're all going,
"Oh, bro, you gonna cut me off in my middle of my sentence, bro."
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, bro, come on, I'm trying to be cool with y'all. So is Ibrahim Traoré? Is he gonna give up the leadership at the time?
Never, because when he came into power, he told them that after 5 years, he was going to hold elections. When the 5 years were approaching, he extended it by another 7 years.
Yeah, and that's because his people wanted him to. His people didn't want him to leave. It's the people that demanded that he stay in power. So if the people demand that you stay in power, what are you going to do?
And that is my point.
Because he's doing such a good job.
Hold on. At the end of the day, like I said, the people who come into power by the barrel of the weapon will never leave power. Gaddafi was one of them. You can see what is happening in Rwanda. You can see what is happening in Uganda. You can see what happened in Egypt there with El-Sisi until they had to kick him out with a barrel of the gun. You can see what happened in Angola. Everywhere the people come into power by the barrel of the gun or by the barrel of the weapon, they will never leave power. So when you are here saying that when guys are in power, that you need to throw them out, I laugh at you because you don't know really what you're saying. You are saying Ugandans.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
You are saying Ugandans are weak. You're saying Ugandans.
Like even kneeling to that flag, like I have no African descent in my blood. I'm a Native American. So literally, I'm a Cherokee, I'm a Blackfoot, I'm a Red-tailed Indian. That's what's in my blood. And the other is mixed European. If somebody's saying tell me not to kneel, you crazy.
So I know he's not the only rapper to come out and say he don't have African in him. He's a real American Indian. I don't even know what tribe Red-tailed is, but it's always Cherokee and Blackfoot. But I'm curious to see his DNA test. I guarantee you he's not enrolled to any of the tribes. And it's starting to be a trend for rappers to jump on this bandwagon, denying their African ancestry and appropriating Native American identity and culture. Like Kanye West, I'll do a video on him. Ice Cube, I'll do another one on him. I'm gonna be exposing what's really going on. This is coming down from the east, and they want all of us to just go with the flow and start arguing with each other. But I'm gonna expose what's really going on and where the source is coming from. I think a lot of these people that are spewing this misinformation
cost out there, but they cost up.
They cost a lot. I mean, the stud fee between $1,200 and $200, and then like the little puppies, they be from like $6 to $10 to $25. It depends on what the fuck you get.